All right, we are beginning rational expressions. This is a new unit. We are going back to talk about some things that we've talked about in the past. We are done with probability, and we are now looking forward to more algebra 2. First thing we need to do, we need to remember how to factor. How do we factor? So we need to find, for number 1, we need to find a greatest common factor. So if we look at 2x squared plus 6x, we know that 2 goes into both 2 and 6, so we're going to pull out a 2. And we also have an x in both of them, so we're going to take out an x. When we go back, 2x squared divided by 2x leaves us with just an x, and 6x divided by 2x leaves us with just 3. So when we factor this, we factor it to 2x, x plus 3. Looking at number 2, x squared plus 3x minus 18. We need to find something that multiplies to 18. Remember we did this? The diamond. We have negative 18 and positive 3. Since this is negative, we have two different signs. One's negative, one's positive, and because the 3 is positive, the bigger number has to be positive. We can go through all the factors. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And we can say 3 and 6, when we subtract them, is going to give us positive 3. So we have a 6 and a 3. If you do not remember this, look back at notes or go on and look at a YouTube about factoring, or go into Khan Academy and look at factoring. If you need to, we can meet with you. But you might be able to just look at some notes. So we have, this is our answer. X plus 6, x minus 3. All right, and the last one. So for this one, we want to factor out, see how there's a 3 out in front? 3 goes into every number here. So we're going to factor out that 3 first. That's our GCF, our greatest common factor. We're left with x squared plus, what's 3 divided by, or 12 divided by 3 is 4x. And 36 divided by 3 is minus 12. Now we need a number that multiplies to negative 12 and adds to positive 4. So negative 12 and 4, 6 and 2. If I subtract those, and I want my bigger number to be positive, since this is positive, so I have plus and minus. I don't know why sometimes that whole thing doesn't come out. So I always need to bring back down this 3. And then I have x plus 6, x minus 2. This is my factored form of that expression. Now, what does this have to do with simplifying rational expressions? Before you can simplify a rational expression, most of the time you need a factor. So we need to go over what factoring was. That's factoring. Now, a rational expression is the quotient of two polynomials. Each of the following fractions is a rational expression. So 3/4 is a rational expression. X plus 5 over 2x. A squared minus 1 over 4ab. Y minus 2 over y squared minus 5y plus 6. So anything that is in fraction form is a rational expression. All right, remember the fraction bar is the same as the division bar. Remember, do not forget this. A division by 0, if not defined, a rational expression has no meaning when the denominator is 0. So for this one, if x equals 0, then you can't have that, right? So a lot of times it'll say something like restricted values, x cannot equal 0. We're not so worried about that just yet. We'll talk about that more, but you do need to know that. So if you got an answer like that, it wouldn't make sense. But first, we're worried about you knowing how to factor and simplify. So a rational expression is in simplest form when its numerator and denominator have no common factors other than 1 and negative 1. So we want to be able to simplify it as much as possible. To be able to simplify, we have to factor first. So something like 6/10, right? That's not simplified. It's a rational expression, but it's not simplified. To simplify it, it's 3/5. Now if we have 2x over 4x, we can simplify this further. The x's cancel because I'm not adding or subtracting those x's to anything. That's the only time I can cancel x's like that. And 2/4 is 1/2. So this would be the simplified version of that. Now we're going to get into some stuff that's a little bit harder. But if I have x plus 2 over x plus 3, I cannot just simplify those. I can't do that. That's not allowed. You can't do anything with this. This is simplified as much as possible. If I have x plus 2 times x plus 3 over x plus 3, then I can cancel these two because this whole expression is the same. It's not just the x. You can never cancel anything that is connected with a plus sign. So see how this is connected with a plus sign? You can't simplify those two. All right, this stuff you don't have written down. You don't necessarily need to write it down. It's not in the notes. But if you would like to, you can add it to the bottom of that page. Now on the next page, on the second page, we have the same notes. To reduce a fraction to lowest terms, factor both the numerator and the denominator. I don't know why that says 3 and 4. It should still say 1 and 2. And then divide both the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor, canceling the common factors. Factor or factors. So if we look at A, what's in common between the 2x and the 10? Correct, a 2. And what's left? X minus 5. And we put that over the 4x. We can't do anything with that 4x yet. But I can simplify this 2 and this 4. So 2 goes into 4, and it leaves me with 2x on the bottom and x minus 5 on the top. So my final answer is x minus 5 over 2x. On the next one, I have x squared minus 3x and x minus 3. X goes into both, so I have x, and then I'm left with x minus 3, and then I have x minus 3 on the bottom. The x minus 3's cancel, and I'm left with just x over 1. You can say over 1. You don't need that over 1. You can just say x. Remember, you can always pause this video to catch up on taking the notes or see where things are coming from. All right, the last two examples for today. X squared minus 7x plus 12. Let's look at this. So I have 12 and I have 7. Minus 3 minus 4. Good, who got that? So I have x minus 3, x minus 4. I'm a little bigger so I can write. And then this is 16. 16 minus x squared. Yep. 4 minus x, 4 plus x. Now since these are the same but in different order, I can cancel these, but I get a negative 1 out in front. So this simplifies to x minus 3 over negative 4 minus x. All right, let's look at D. All right, so D is x squared minus 7x plus 10. So I have 10, negative 7. Yep, negative 5, negative 2. Good. X minus 5, x minus 2. And I have 25. Now, just like the last one, it was 25 minus x squared. When we've done these problems, we've always done them as x squared minus 25. To change that, we need to have a negative 1 out here, which is fine. And then we can see this is x minus 5, x plus 5. But there's a negative 1. So x minus 5, x plus 5, and a negative 1 out front. That may be easier to see, and those two cancel. So my answer is, move it over here, x minus 2 over negative 1, x plus 5. That's my final answer. Your homework is E and F. E and F. Now it says which value of x makes the expression undefined. So remember we said you can't have 0 in the denominator. What would make you have 0 in the denominator for 8? And then F, you're going to have to factor this into 2 factors at the top and factor into 2 factors in the bottom, and then what simplifies. That is your homework. Have a great day. If you have any questions, please ask.